Hi guys, it's Ari here from Ari Aesthetic. Today I'm going to talk to you about the biology of the skin, and in terms of structure, skin is made of three layers: epiderm, dermis, hypoderm. So we're not interested in hypoderm, which is a deeper layer of the skin. We're interested in epiderm and dermis. If we implant the pigment into dermis, I spoke about it before, we won't have pigment retention because when the skin is done its regeneration after 4 to 6 weeks, then we won't have any pigment. How do we know to hit the right spot? We have to do the first treatment, lightly, gentle pressure, not too deep. And then when it's healed, we look at the eyebrows or lip or eyeliner and see how much pigment retention we have. If we have good pigment retention, means we hit the right spot. If we have less pigment retention, we can go slightly more pressure, but not too much. I would like to talk about phagocytosis. So phagocytosis is when the macrophage comes and they absorb the pigment. So when we implant the pigment into the skin, it gets inflamed, and macrophage, they come to digest the pigment. This is their job. They try to get rid of any trash in dermis layer of the skin. And yeah, they absorb the pigment, they digest it. Sometimes they just digest all the pigment, sometimes some of the pigment they remain. So now we are talking about the chemistry, because size of the particles matters. Bigger size, it's more difficult for macrophages to get rid of the pigment and digest them. The smaller one are easier. So this is a natural process happens in our body, and the only way we can use it to help us is to implant the pigment into the top layer of the skin by right pressure. Top layer of the dermis, not epiderm. If we implant the pigment too deep, so macrophage come, they digest the pigment, and the tissue will be produced around it called fibrosis. Fibrosis, they have different color and they change their color. So you remember I talked about Tyndall effect. When fibrosis happens, we have made our pigment look different color because it's deeper and tissue around it. And with the Tyndall effect, we are changing the wavelength of the color, so it would look cooler. So the best thing is to do enough practice and hitting the right spot of the dermis layer. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the melanin, which is one of the most important subject in biology and is related to permanent makeup. Thank you and have a lovely day.